Good morning, all my dear students. I welcome you to Jagran Public School. Today we are going to study Class 9 History, Chapter 2nd, Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution Part 2. And the topic which we are going to cover is the Russian Revolution, Economy and Society, Socialism in Russia in that different parties, that is the Russian Socialist Democratic Labour Party and the division of Bolshevik and Menshevik, and the event of the 1905 Revolution, Bloody Sunday. In Bloody Sunday, St. Petersburg, Father Gapon elected Consultative Parliament or Duma, the First World War and the Russian Revolution. The Russian Empire in 1914. Tsar Nicholas was the ruler, and beside the territory around Moscow, the Russian Empire included the current day Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, part of Poland, Ukraine, and many other parts. It was included in Russian Empire and it was ruled by Tsar Nicholas II. Economy and society. At the beginning of 20th century, the vast majority of Russian population were agriculturalists. About 85% of Russian Empire population earned their livelihood from agriculture, and this proportion was higher than the most of the other European countries. For example, in France and Germany, the proportion was only 40% and 50%, but in Russia it was 85%. New industries emerged, and the industries were basically in the hand of private holders. That means the property was not of the public, it was there in the hand of private people. Prominent industries areas were the St. Petersburg and the Moscow. Craftsmen undertook much of the introduction, but large factories exist alongside crafts workshop. Most industries were private property of industrialists. Government supervised large factories to ensure minimum wages and limited hours of the work. But factory inspector could not provide rules being broken. Yes, dear student, here the problem was that basically with the people, those workers, those who were having the problem is that they were having a long hours of working. Yes, they were supposed to do when the inspectors come for inspecting. So they used to see that only 8 to 10 hours the workers are working. But after the inspectors are gone, the workers were supposed to work for more than 12 to 15 hours, and accommodation was not provided properly to them. And later on there was a division between the workers. Yes, workers were divided into groups, but they did unite to strike work when they were dissatisfied. Here division was basically the metal workers and the other workers. Metal workers were superior compared to the other workers. Their attire and the behavior was also bit different. Peasants has no respect for nobility unlike the French peasant. Yes, here like a French peasants, they have the respect for the nobility, but here they were not having any kind of respect to the nobilities. Russian peasants were the only peasant community which pooled their land and their commune divided. Now here pooling of land and commune divide means that ki Russian peasants, what they basically do, they try to compile the land. They used to combine the land, and it was divided according to the requirement of the people by the commune, or you can say mir. He divides the land according to the needs of the individual family. For example, if in family, somebody's family, only 2 members are there, and then according to that the land will be given. And if it's somebody's family, there are 10 members, then according to that their requirement the land will be given. Now, socialism in Russia. All political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914. The Russia Socialist Democratic Workers' Party was founded in year 1898 by socialists who respected Marx's idea. However, because of government policing, it had to be operate as an illegal organization. It was set up a newspaper, mobilized workers and organized strike. Yes, this was the reason of setting up of this Russian Socialist Democratic Labour Party. It struggled to give peasants the right over the land that belonging to the nobles. As land was divided among the peasants periodically, which makes them natural socialists, and it was felt that peasants and not workers would be the main source of the revolution. Yes, according to this sentence, it means that the workers were not the main source of the socialists. Peasants thought that they are the main source. They are naturally the socialists because they used to divide the land according to the requirement. We have seen in the previous slide before this, we have seen that the workers, what they used to do, they used to compile their land, they consolidate their land, and after consolidating they used to divide the land among the peasants according to the requirement. So they thought we are the natural socialists, we are not just the part, we are the main source. But here what happened, Lenin felt that the peasants were not one unite group. Some were poor and other were rich. Some worked as a labor while other worked as a capitalist who employed workers. Given the differentiation within them, they could not all be the part of socialist movement. Yes, some were the rich, some were the poor. So how they can be the part of the socialists? So on this basis of the thinking, the group was divided. Yes, you can see the image here. The two different group was divided. The party was divided over the strategy of organization. Vladimir Lenin, who led the Bolshevik group, thought that in a repressive society like Tsar Nicholas, the party should be disciplined and should control the number of quality of member. Others, that means Mensheviks, thought that the party should be open for all the German people. Yes, you can see the image of the Menshevik group. Now, the main important incident, that is the 1905 revolution. Yes, here we know that now Russia was an autocratic society. That means there was a single person who was ruling the society. There was no elections held. Unlike the European rulers, even at the beginning of the 20th century, the Tsar was not subject of parliament. There was no system of parliament followed. Yes, and basically, liberals in Russia campaigned to end this status of affairs together with socialist democrats and socialist revolutionaries. They worked with the peasants and the workers during the revolution of 1905 to demand a constitution, but it was not at all done. The constitution was not set up. They demanded for the constitution, but no, Tsar was not at all ready for this. Now, what happened after that basically? There was an incident called Bloody Sunday. How it happened and why it happened, let's see. And 1905 was a particularly bad one for the Russian worker. Prices of essential goods were rising continuously. They were unable to fulfill their main own livelihood also. Oh, this was the problem which basically they failed. The member of the Workers' Association rose dramatically when four members of Assembly of Russia Workers, which had been formed in 1904, were dismissed as Putilov iron worker, there was a call for international action. Over the next few days, over 110,000 workers in St. Petersburg went on strike demanding a reduction in the working days to 8 hours and increasing wages and improving in working condition. Yes, there was a big problem by the workers. They were facing a lot. Here, basically Father Gapon supported this group. Yes, the work image, I have shown the image. You can see the image is shown of Father Gapon. Okay, when the position of worker led by the Father Gapon reached the Winter Palace, it was attacked by police and Cossack. Cossack means it is the force or the army force which move on the horses. This means Cossack. Okay, and over 100 workers were killed and about 300 wounded. This incident was known as Bloody Sunday. started a series of events that become known as Revolution of 1905. Strike took place all over the country and the universities were closed. All the lawyers, doctors, engineers, everyone get engaged and started demanding a constitution assembly. This was the main demand. Yes, here basically the people demanded for the constitution. And after that, what happened? During the 1905 revolution, the Tsar allowed the creation of elected consultative parliament or the Duma. Now, definitely Tsar was now in the fear that people are against me and he will have to fulfill the demand of the people as the people were asking for the constitution. If he will not fulfill the demand, then it will be a great problem for the Tsar. So he was ready to set up a parliament or the Duma. Duma is in Russia, parliament is called Duma. Then the Tsar has set up the first first party, and it was the first Duma or the first parliament was dismissed in 75 days only, because Tsar was the ruler who do not like that anyone should go against him. So he was not agree with that members of the parliament, so he dismissed the first Duma in within a 75 days and announced the election, that is the second election. Yes, he re-elected second Duma within 3 months. Yes, again the election was done, and in 3 months again the election was Duma was dismissed. Now he did not want any questioning from the authority of any reduction in his power. He changed the voting law and packed the third Duma with consultative politicians. Now the First World War and the Russian Empire. Here the division is done between the people. Now there is a time of world war. Now here again there was a some country which was supporting the central power, some were divided into allied powers. Let's see which were they. In 1914, war broke out between the European alliances. Germany, Austria, Turkey were the central powers, and France, Britain and Russia was now allied power. Later Italy and Romania also joined. Each country had a globe empire, and the war was fought outside Europe as well as in Europe also. So this is the map which shows you the division of the central and allied power. It is very important. Yes, in Russia the war was initially popular and people rallied around Tsar Nicholas. As the war continued through, the Tsar refused to consult the main parties in the Duma. Yes, at the beginning the war was very popular, but this Tsar, he was very attitudeful person. He never used to consult the member of the Duma or the parliament. Support wrote thing. Definitely, if there is a no discussion about the war, a single person cannot fight with the war. So here what happened, basically there was a no support, so it ended up and it became thin. And then anti-German sentiments ran high, as can be seen in the renaming of St. Petersburg as German name as Petrograd. Yes, here the German people sentiments was high and they renamed St. Petersburg as Petrograd. Then basically the First World War on the Eastern Front differ from one of the Western fronts. Yes, Russia army basically lost badly in the Germany and Australia because of the fault of the Tsar. And the First World War, which was fought, it was little bit different. Like in Eastern frontier and the Western frontier, it was fought differently. In the West, armies fought from the trenches. Trenches means a pit is dug and it is covered from the top, and the army people just hide into that pit area or a big hole which is dug, and then they start shooting. Definitely it means that the people who are hiding themselves will be protected. Okay, but at the eastern side, what was the scene? Army was moved a good deal and fought battle, leaving large casualties. Yes, here the army at the eastern sides was not at all of hiding themselves; they were directly fighting, and that's why there was a casualty high in the eastern side. Defeats were shocking and demoralizing. Russian army lost badly in Germany and Austria between 1914 and 1916. There were over 7 million casualties by 1917 as they treated the Russia army destroy crop and building to prevent the army from being able to live off the land. The destruction of crops and the building led to over 300 million refugees in Russia. This situation discredited the government and the Tsar. Soldiers did not wish to fight such type of wars. Definitely now there is a very bad condition of the soldiers. People were totally suffering. There were also had a serve impact on the industrial. There was industry shutdown, and the definitely industries will be shut down if there will be no workers in the industry. How industries will run? Second thing is that Russian owned industries were few in number and country was shut off from the other supplies of industrial goods by German control over the Baltic Sea. Yes, now there was a full control because Germany he had a control on the Baltic Sea from where the raw material used to come in the Russia, but now it was under the control of German, so there was a shortage of raw material also. That's why the reason is that industries were shut down, and because of this, large supplies of the grain was sent to feed their army. People for the people in the cities, bread and flour become scarce. By the winter of 1916, riot and the bread shops were common. Yes, here the shortage of the bread were there. People suffered a lot. There was a we basically we all know the situation. How the situation is that people never get any good result in war, or if they won the war, but still who are the sufferer? The poor people are always the sufferer. To be continued. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day.